How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another Fallout 76 build guide. Today we're going to be covering something a little bit different. This is mainly for bossing. This can be used all around, but it is a PA heavy gunner crit build, and the weapon we're going to be covering is the Gatling Plasma. Now, we'll leave links below for both full health and bloodied, but let's get right into it. Now, for the perk cards, we will be using a bloody build, but the thing is that in the fight that you will see here in very shortly is I will be kind of more full health, and you'll see something surprising when it comes to the damage. But we try to stack as much damage as we possibly can with crits and all of the damage perk cards and strength for heavy gunners, but we also do have sneak. Sneak can be replaced with something else, and we'll have a build available shortly after this once we finish covering the legendary perk cards. But for the legendary perk cards, we are going to be replacing Master Infiltrator with Electric Absorption. You can swap this out with something else like Take One for the Team, but this will help with Fusion Core charges depending on where you're going. But we're also going to be using Follow Through, Maxed Out Strength, Agility, Intelligence, as well as Luck. Now, for some of our friends who don't want to bother with Sneak in a PA build, you can swap this out. And what we used is we added some points into Adrenaline, or an extra point into Adrenaline to max that out. We added level 3 Life Giver in Endurance, maxed out Revenant in Endurance, as well as maxed out Concentrated Fire and Perception. This will help with damage stacks when you're proccing Gun Fu, Life Giver for extra tankiness, Revenant for just in case you get downed and picked up, little extra damage, as well as Concentrated Fire maxed, so you can get some better VATs hits and increase. Now, the weapon we're going to be using today is an anti-armor last shot less VATs Gatling Plasma, but we're going to be running crits. Now, normally I would show the damage between a Mirelurk, Queen, Behemoth, so on and so forth to kind of show you guys a little bit of a gauge, but this is mainly specifically built for bossing. This can work for everything else, but to showcase and show off the crit damage, we're just going to jump right into the Earl. Now, for the buffs that we're going to be using is an Energy Bobblehead, Guns and Magazine 9, as well as Overdrive and Psychotats for our chems. For our food buffs, since I am an herbivore, we're going to be rocking some Blight Soup for some extra crit, as well as canned coffee for that somewhat infinite AP regen. Now, I want you guys to notice the damage right off the rip. We're in Sneak right now, but we are going to lose it here very quickly, but we're hitting for over 770 damage, which is pretty good, but it does drop until around the 600s, which is still absolutely amazing. And the reason why I do use Sneak is because in public teams and in public servers, I'm able to hold it a little bit better because I can keep a distance, and not only that, other players will be able to maintain the aggro off Earl. So I'll be able to hold higher damage for a longer period of time. But even still, without Sneak, the damage and the crits is still very, very nice. Especially when getting the Gun Fu procs, Adrenaline stacks, and that infinite AP. Now, during this fight, I ended up running out of fusion cores. I didn't realize that I was only rocking, 2 or 3? And when you use VATs in a PA build, it drains your fusion cores, which is unfortunate, but that's the cost of it. But we made some more fusion cores and we got back down and continued the fight. Now I want you guys to notice the HP. My HP is a little bit over 50%, which means we do not have Nerd Rage and we don't have our full damage from Adrenal Reaction. But our crits are still within the high 600s, which means the build will also be viable for a full health build, and you're doing relatively the same amount of damage as a bloody build, which is kind of nuts. You don't really see that too often with a lot of different weapons, especially commando builds. But I figured that was something important and hopefully useful information for anyone who is willing or interested in trying something a little bit different, as well as something kind of fun. Actually, not kinda. It is incredibly fun. Seeing the amount of damage and such is just, so good. But after a few minutes of our time, managed to take down Earl, got all the goodies. But yeah, that's the damage for this crit build for a heavy gunner PA. I did managed to test it with some other weapons, which we will be showing here on the channel very soon. But this build does work outside of bossing. The crits are only really for bossing, and it adds a little bit of spice to, I guess, the monotony of the game. But yeah, I hope you guys are willing to try this build out, or let me know your thoughts if you already run it. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. But again, this is something a little bit different. It's not the run and gun heavy gunners that a lot of us are used to and know. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who uses crit heavy gunners, but I figured probably try and see if we can spread the love, because crit heavy guns, they're very expensive in terms of maintaining the AP to manage the crits, which is understandable, and I do understand that it can kill the interest of the build, but it's definitely worth trying at least once. But everyone has their own preference as always. But I want to thank everyone for taking the time for watching the video. Again, we'll have the build links below for full health and bloodied. But with that, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. As always, happy hunting, good luck, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.